Okay,
an application. I don't have a full application.
Can you send me the link?
How many questions does the recruiter ask throughout this call? So what might be fun, Josh, on this is, or maybe it wouldn't because it would be really boring, is to have a question counter at the bottom of the screen. And every time the recruiter asks a question, the counter goes up because it would have 2 in the beginning and nothing for the rest of the call. That's awesome.
Thank you for calling. This is.
Hey, how you doing there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I filled out an application for you guys.
Yeah, looks like I got a short application. You looking for a local position out of the Hazleton location?
Yeah, that would be pretty good. How's it work? Where you going from your local routes? Where you going?
It's a 250-mile radius from Hazleton and back each day.
And you're back each day, okay. And what's the pay rate like?
It's 69 cents per mile. You're gonna gross about $1,100 a week.
$1,100 a week. Okay.
Yes, now the hours are gonna be 12 to 14-hour days.
12 to 14 a day. And you gross $1,100 a week.
1,100, yep.
And that is that a fixed pay, or is that guaranteed, or is it kind of fluctuate?
It fluctuates. It could be more. There's no guarantee, but as long as you're working, you're going to be grossing that much on an average.
Okay. That's the minimum, is that?
So I think we've talked about this on a previous session before. But I can't tell at this point, is the driver excited about the opportunity here? Asking lots of questions, so he's interested. That much is clear. But we've talked about in the past helping drivers make an emotional connection as well as just that kind of logical connection to the information being shared. And at this point, I think the driver's response to everything has been, okay, which I think I mentioned before. I hate that response because I don't know what it means. Does it mean, okay, that sounds great, or okay, I think I can do better? So we'll see how it progresses here.
Yep. It does require one Saturday a month, so it's Monday through Friday with one Saturday per month.
Okay. All right. Right now, I have a problem. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, so I'm driving for another fleet. Right now, I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but I'm heading to California with a new driver, but I won't be available until around April 1st.
Well,
and the reason
so what I would have
why is I like to give notice. I'm not just gonna jump ship. I gotta let them know that I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
I gotta let them know that.
Yeah, I understand that, but the first step would be to fill out an application. I don't have a full application.
Can you send me the link? And then.
So I think we're already halfway through the call, and I'll be interested to see how many questions does the recruiter ask throughout this call? Because so far, it's mainly been the driver asking questions, which is normal, right? Drivers, they're calling in because they want to learn about the opportunity that's out there. But we know very little about this driver so far, other than what he's just offered himself, which makes it difficult to put your best foot forward and share, the best stuff or the things that driver might care about when they're evaluating different positions. So I think I counted 2 questions so far, which is, how are you doing? Something along those lines. And the recruiter just confirming what the driver put on the short form is accurate. I think those have been the 2 questions total from the recruiter. So we'll see if there's more question asking as this goes on.
I'll fill it the application.
Okay.
You know, maybe sometime today, tomorrow, or sometime this week. You know, I'll fill out the full application, and then if you know, if I'm a match for your fleet, we'll know. And
Okay,
if not, you know,
then-
that's okay too. You know, I got. Yeah, I got clean records. It's just I won't be available till, you know, the 1st or the 2nd of April. There.
The 1st or 2nd of
Yeah,
what?
April.
April?
They love to talk at the same time. So good luck, Josh, as you re-record the actual call here on having two people speak at once, right? That'll be fun to put together. You know, the driver, somewhat of a talker, which is fine. You know, we want them to open up, share what's going on. So the recruiter just maybe could show a little bit more patience here and not speak over the driver, even though she's got some things she wants to talk about. So that's been a little interesting to hear them both going at the same time.
You're saying? Because it's the 1st of March now.
Yeah.
You're saying the 1st or 2nd of next month?
I have to finish out with them here, you know?
Okay, then you'd have to wait to put an application in because the application is not going to be valid after 30 days. So if you're not going to be available until 30 days from now, then you wouldn't be able to apply until you're closer to your availability time. So you'd want to apply 2 weeks closer to that time.
All right. Well, that sounds good too. I mean, where do I put the application in? Where do I go for it?
I can send you the link.
Yeah, send me the link. Just give me the link.
But it wouldn't, you wouldn't apply.
Okay, no,
and I
understand. I understand that.
It's
You know,
not
it
going
takes
to
a
be valid
certain amount of days. I
if
can't
you're
fill
not
it out.
available
Yeah,
to me.
no more than 30 days. I get it. But, yeah, I don't want you to redo it. But I don't want to do it for a second time. So if you just send me the link now, I'll open the link. And then in a couple weeks, I'll send you the application. I'll fill it out on the 14th or 15th, something like that, and then I'll send you the application.
Okay, no
And, you know,
problem.
by then, you know, I think they could even, you know, they might let me leave early.
Okay.
21st, 22nd, somewhere in there. I don't know. You know, I think they'd let me go because, you know, I've served pretty good. Give them some notice, it'll be all right, I think. Yeah, I just don't want to burn any bridges because, you know, if I need to go back, I don't want to leave on bad terms.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just not how I operate. I mean, even with you, if I get the job and you hire me and I come in, you know, I end up, you know, I don't like it, it doesn't work out. I'm not just going to leave. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you a notice. I'm going to say, hey, I'm out, you know.
So I can respect that, right? A driver who wants to put in their 2 weeks notice, you know, you hear that occasionally. But I'd definitely like to give kudos to drivers who are willing to do that. So maybe an opportunity there for the recruiter to just, you know, give the driver a pat on the back. Hey, I respect that, you know, that you treat your employers that way. And yes, we would definitely ask that you give us a heads up if you're not happy, give us a chance to fix it. So interesting that the recruiter doesn't respond much as he says that.
You know, I give you a notice, I'll work it out, and this is why I'm leaving, and that's how I do it, you know. So,
Yeah.
if you send me the link, I'll go to the link, I'll wait 2 weeks, around the 14th or the 15th, and then I'll fill it out and I'll send it to you. But, you know, because that's the maximum I'm going to stay here, is to the end of the month here.
Okay.
So does that sound good?
Yep, I'll send you the link.
Thank
Okay.
you, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, bye.
All right. So what might be fun, Josh, on this is, or maybe it wouldn't because it would be really boring, is to have a question counter at the bottom of the screen. And every time the recruiter asks a question, the counter goes up because it would have 2 in the beginning and nothing for the rest of the call.
I'm good. How are you? You looking for a local position out of the Hazleton location? 1st or 2nd of
Yeah,
what?
April.
April, you're saying?
You
You're
know,
saying the 1st or 2nd of next month?
So that would be my biggest and primary takeaway here is ask questions. You know, sometimes you'll hear people talk about call control, which I don't necessarily love the way that comes out, like, hey, I'm going to control this call from beginning to end. But I do think there's something to guiding the phone call, right? Both the driver and the recruiter really have things that they should want to learn from each other in order to determine if it's a good fit for everyone. And it's really hard to do that if you're not asking any questions, right? So it's not necessarily about controlling the call as much as it is providing some guidance to make sure both parties end up getting what they need to out of it. So that would be my takeaway number one is please ask questions. It'll make for a much, much better conversation instead of it just being lopsided one direction or the other. The other thing that surprised me, bothered me about the call was from what we've learned so far about the driver, it seems like it's a good fit. Now, we don't know a lot, but the driver very quickly mentioned clean record, sounded like he was training because he mentioned another driver being in the truck. So normally, trainers are highly sought after. So he must have a good, clean driving record. But the recruiter, even though the driver's not ready to, or was encouraged not to fill out the application now, because it's got to be, within 30 days, which makes sense, and that's good transparency. But there's something I heard a long time ago in a sales training, which is time equals commitment. And if it sounds like this is a driver you wouldn't want to lose from what we know so far. So what can we do to spend more time with the driver? Not only on just this first call, but between now and 2 weeks later when the driver said he's going to apply. So what can we do in the meantime to hold on to that driver, keep them excited about the opportunity? And once again, it'll come back to takeaway number one, which is ask questions. So what about this position is the driver excited about? Is it the pay? Is it the home time? But getting the driver to say those things will then give the recruiter an opportunity to continue to put that information out in front of the driver. And even asking for permission, hey, I know that's a week or two away before you're going to apply. Would it be okay if I touched base with you, a couple times this week just to continue to get you the information you need so that when it's go time, we're off and running and there's no lag there between hey, bouncing paperwork back and forth and that whole thing. So those would be my two primary takeaways. Ask questions and time equals commitment. So what can we do to spend more time on the initial call and then throughout the process to keep the driver committed to working with you? So that's my takeaways for this call. Josh, did you have any other takeaways, thoughts?
No, I was just really impressed at how much the driver wanted to talk, and it seemed like the recruiter did not want him to talk. He kept trying to cut him off.
Right? And he was giving good information, right? Stuff the recruiter potentially should have been asking about anyway. So yeah, a little frustrating there to have such a seemingly great driver on the phone that we didn't do more to really get them excited about the opportunity.
Well, cool, Seth. I think it's definitely a different type of call than we've had before.
It is.
I'm going to try to get you back in here next month for a different one. Until then, thank you for your time, your two takeaways, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. Thanks.